In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how can we do text skew correction using EmguCV. CV. So given an image with some text orientation like this, we would like to process it and produce an output like this. So how can we do it? Let's get started. I have already created a project and I configured it to use EmguCV 4.2. So you can check one of my previous videos about how configuration of EmguCV 4.2. So let me add a new menu item and give it a name like for text. And I want to do the skew text. Double click on it and I'm going to write the code right here. The first thing that I want to do is to write a try catch block so that if I have face any exception, I want to catch it right here. So MB tab message box, and in the message box I can show the message. So the first thing I want to make sure is an image has already been selected and displayed in my picture box. So I can write an if condition. If my picture box dot image equals null, then I should not be able to do anything, so I will just return. Otherwise, I want to read that image and then process it. So the first thing that I will do is read the image from picture box into a variable, let's say img, and to do that I'm just going to create an object of bitmap, and inside this bitmap I'm going to read the picture box's image and then convert it into an EmguCV uh, data structure. So I'm going to use two image. It should be a gray image. I don't need the color image, and the depth should be the bytes. So once I have read the image, I can do a thresholding. I just call it gray and img.threshold. And remember that I'm going to use threshold binary inverse because this is the image that I'm going to process. As you can see, the background is white and the text is in black. So that's why I'm using the binary threshold inverse. And also what I want to do is to make all the text elements to be one connected component. I just want to make all these together as one component. So I'll be using essentially the dilation after the threshold. So maybe I can use the threshold value to be, if the value is less than 200, replace it with 255. So this one will do the thresholding, and then I just want to do here is the dilation, and let me say I'm doing the dilation for 5 times. So here is the result. Just I want to show you what I want to do here. Dot to bitmap or as bitmap. So let's see what I want to do from this dilation and the threshold. So let me select an image, the same image that I have shown you before. So where is that? So, and when I do the click on this, so this is the result that I wanted because I want all the text to be one component only. Okay, that's good. So once we do the thresholding and the dilation, I want to find the bounding box for this text area. And to do that, we can find the contours. And today I'm going to show you how we can do it in a slightly different way. So we need some vector of points. I just call them, let's say, points is equal to new vector of points. So cv invoke dot find non-zeros, and here you can pass the white elements or the locations of the white pixels from this image, and we want to write them in this points vector of points. So once we have those vector of points, we can find the minimum area rectangle using these points. So let me call it variable minimum area rect is equal to cv invoke dot minimum area rectangle, and this one is expecting these points, so I'm going to provide these points. Okay, so this one essentially will give us the bounding rectangle around the the points that we have given. And this minimum area rectangle will also give us the angle information, that how much angle the rectangle is rotated. And using that angle information, we can diskew the image. So what I will do now is we can create a variable called rotation matrix is equal to new mate. The rotation matrix must be of size 2 by 3. So I'm just going to create a 2 by 3 matrix. Its depth will be 32 float, and it should be just channels will be one only. So this will be the rotation matrix that we need to rotate our image. And let me create another variable to store the results. So rotated image is equal to, it should be of the same size as our original image. So let me say this. So this basically minimum rectangle will give us the angle between -90 and 0. And if our image is in the rotated in the clockwise direction, then we need to do the opposite of it. So I will be doing something here. If the angle is less than -40, then I'm going to add those 90 degrees with the angle, so that I will be doing in the opposite direction to make the skew correction. If my minimum area rectangle dot angle is less than -45, then min area rectangle dot angle is equal to 90 plus min area rectangle dot angle. So I'm just adding these 90 to the angle that has been calculated. And once I know the angle, now I can find the rotation matrix. So how can we do that? CV invoke dot get rotation matrix into dimension. So here is the central point. So we already have calculated, or the mean area rectangle has given us the center. So we know the center, and we also know the angle. So we will be using the angle of rotation. And here we don't need to do any scaling, so I just keep it as it is. And the rotation matrix. So rotation matrix. So once we have the rotation matrix, and then we can apply the warp affine transformation on the Img image, and then we give the rotated image as the output. This is the rotation matrix. So rotation matrix and the size of the image. So I'm going to use the img.size, and for interpolation I'm going to use interpolation.cubic, and the warp method I'm just going to keep it as default. The only thing that I need is the border mode that I'm going to use is border type dot replicate, maybe giving us the copy of the element at the bottom. So once we get the rotated image, I can add it in the, I can show it in the tree view also. So rotated image dot convert into BGR byte, and give it a name like skewed image. And finally I can show it in my picture box also. Dot image is equal to rotated image dot to bitmap. So let us run the application and see the result. File, open an image containing some skewed text, for example. So skewed text, open it. Now I applied skewed, so you can see if it was right rotated, then it skewed perfectly. And I have another example of left skewed, and when I try it, so it is also doing perfect. So this is how we can diskew some text if it is skewed using EmguCV. And hope to see you in another video.